Hey, you. Welcome back to the channel. Guys, as a reminder, you can watch the same video on BitTube and be compensated for it. The link will be in the description. Earn crypto while listening to me. So you don't feel like you've lost moments of your life. You can be compensated for them and get them back. But anyway, let's get into today's story, guys. The Bitpay CCO holds pessimistic outlook for altcoins. I believe he's actually uses words like altcoins are dead. And so, first, BitPay, the company he's with, he's the chief commercial officer, CCO. That's a title I don't hear very often. He shared his outlook for the cryptocurrencies, emphasizing his optimism for the Bitcoin markets, whilst also espousing a grim outlook for altcoins. So I've seen the story break around several channels and from several sources. One channel done by Vincent Briatore. I like his channel, just like many content creators and people who talk about crypto news. We sometimes watch other crypto news channels, and I just wanted to bring his channel to attention because a lot of his thoughts and views is almost in some cases like we're Siamese twins. I'm thinking the same thing, and he just starts saying exactly what I'm thinking. So it's a bit comforting to know that I'm not the only one who feels this way. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about BitPay real fast. So BitPay, of course, BitPay, one of the biggest payment processors. They do. They have the BitPay wallet, and they released this debit card. And I actually got the debit card, the BitPay debit card, but I got it at a time. I remember getting this debit card when Bitcoin was like 20,000, had hit like $20,000, and of course, we knew how the markets were, or I'm sorry, the Bitcoin was just overburdened with transactions and orders, and it was just ridiculously high as Bitcoin was so congested. The network was so congested, and oh my geez, it would like 25-30% of your value would be lost just trying to move Bitcoin, right? And so it was just costing me hundreds of dollars just to do one transaction. And in some cases, the transactions were, barely that much. And so it was just ridiculously crazy. And so to get this money into their debit card, there were, there were fees. And once you did that, you had lost so much of your money just trying to get it to this debit card. And so, I was wondering, should I even be using it? And it was a lot of people talking about the cost of the BitPay debit card and MasterCard. So I didn't get rid of the card, but I did slow down using it a bit. And they really improved a great deal. Obviously the Bitcoin got under control, and now it's very convenient. Their Mastercard is very convenient. I like using it. I can go to the ATMs and in very little time withdraw money if I need it out of Bitcoin. The only issues I've had is there have been some merchants that for whatever reason it's a few of them. When I try to scan the card, it's weird, it's embarrassing. It's like they think it's some kind of illegal card or you stole the card. It's just weird with some processors. But I know one of them had actually told me, one of the clerks actually told me that there had been some fraud with the BitPay Mastercard, and there it was this alert always come across the screen, and that's why they wouldn't process any transactions for it. But for the most part, I say 70-80% or 80-90%, no problem with the card, or the light to use, and I like using it at this point. So let's see what Mr. Singh is saying. So Mr. Singh, I'm not going to read the entire article. I'll try to leave a link in the description, but he's definitely a Bitcoin maximalist, right? And he's talking about these altcoins. With the ICO buzz, these ICOs raised all this money, and they're down 95% now. And that is true. That is true. Many of these altcoins, people have lost 95% of their value. In these altcoins, many of them, and are continually losing. And the story is, it's following Bitcoin, it's going to recover, but Bitcoin doesn't go down that much, so it's not really following Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't drop 90% and all of that. So the comparison to Bitcoin is not the same comparison. We know with altcoins, they're very exaggerated, and that makes them a lot more dangerous. So here are my thoughts with altcoins, right? Obviously, I don't 100% agree with Mr. Singh. There are altcoins, I believe, that have done well. There are altcoins that go up in a bear market. So the narrative that altcoins have to go down because Bitcoin goes down, I don't believe that. I don't believe that has to be the case. I believe you can produce a good enough altcoin that in many areas can transcend Bitcoin in certain ways. And that's been proven many times. And I've seen coins like that. They are rare and few in between, but it is possible. And that's what drives me to my next thought, which is I don't 100% agree with Mr. Singh, but what I do agree with is that most of these altcoins, in fact, the majority of them, are, my opinion is they are doomed. They are dead. They are dying, and they won't recover. But that's not to say all altcoins. There are a few, but not many, guys. I don't believe there are many. Now, obviously, this is his business. He's Bitcoin. He's doing the BitPay system that deals looks like only in Bitcoin, and I think maybe Bitcoin Cash. So these guys are like Bitcoin maximalists. It's quite a few people in the cryptocurrency space like that. They don't care at all about altcoins. He goes on to talk about like over $500 billion is going to come into the cryptocurrency space in 2019. But what he's clear to say is that none of that money will go into altcoins, that it will all go into Bitcoin, that Bitcoin is where everybody wants to be. And I kind of disagree with that too, because we know a lot of people who are in Bitcoin are also in altcoins, and we're going to get this type of trickle down effect. People are going to make money with Bitcoin, and they're going to buy other things. So I don't 100% agree with that. But I think we should be mindful and realistic of what Mr. Singh is saying. I think he does have valid points. I think it would have been better if he said most are dead. I think it was very generalized to say altcoins, because there are a lot of altcoins have very good use cases, right? And there are altcoins that are going up now in value. BitTube is one such, right? There are altcoins that have great use cases. Electronium and such is one such, right? There are altcoins that weren't heavily as exposed and hit as many other altcoins. The Waves Decentralized Exchange is one. But then there are altcoins who raise a lot of money in ICO, but they didn't invest and work on their infrastructure. You know, there are altcoins that never really had a good use case to begin with. And there are what I like to call altcoin apologists that are kind of like these wishful thinkers that believe maybe if they just stay in long enough and don't move, that things will get better. But my thought process to that is this, and that is that I will take preparation, good preparation, and a good use case in a cryptocurrency coin as my ally any day over wishful thinking and hopeful thinking and dreaming. And not to be harsh, guys, but it's the reality. A lot of people are waking up. They're waking up. You just don't know how many stories I hear. Even the person's channel I was recommending, Mr. Vincent Briatore, who I watch his content sometimes. I'm just amazed that me and him have the same thought process about everything. We pretty much pick the same tokens, but it's disheartening. It's sad to hear him talk about all these hundreds of thousands of dollars he invested in altcoins that are down 90%, where he's lost 90% of his value. And he's woken up to the fact that some of these altcoins just aren't going to make it. And so this is where I do agree with Mr. Singh. And I think it's time for all of us to take a step back. The ICO craze is over. Everybody's woken up. The gig is up. The developers who are still in this similar mindset of pushing these projects, and they're talking about all this technology that is needed to make these great coins. And I don't know, guys. I'm starting to think that's either a false narrative or it's an inaccurate one. I'm not seeing a huge connection in just because you spend a lot of money and you do a lot of building and you design a lot of systems and you do a lot of work into the system, that means it's going to be valuable and marketable to the marketplace. I don't know if that means that. I think some coins that spend very little money but have a good concept and idea may possibly be able to do better than that. We have many situations of cloned coins that have used coin software and have performed better than the companies that have created the original software. So I don't know if that's the only components to that. What we do know is that the altcoins are suffering, and the story is always, well, they're suffering because of Bitcoin's going down. That's not a story I want to keep telling. I want to tell a story that your coin is so good that it's going up because it's a good coin. It's going up because it has a good use case. It's going up because people feel they need it and that they need to use it and they find value in it, right? And I think that's going to be what the ending story sounds like. So, guys, questions, what altcoins are you into? And do you feel they fit this bill? Or do you think this guy's just a Bitcoin maximalist? Just trying to stay in Bitcoin and hopes everybody else does the same thing? Would love to hear your thoughts. Guys, if you like content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, take care.